Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but before that, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Miami Heat's Tyler Herro credits late NBA legend for work ethic. After winning the three-point contest during NBA All-Star Weekend, Miami Heat guard Tyler Herro was asked about some of his biggest motivators for work ethic. He immediately mentioned Hall of Famer Kobe Bryant. Kobe. Just his mentality, Herro said. R.I.P. Kobe. But just everything, the greatness and the history that he left behind. He inspired so many people. He's still inspiring, not even being here. I think that alone says a lot. Bryant died in a helicopter crash in 2020 before becoming one of the best players in NBA history. Herro still appreciated him. I think his work ethic, the time he put in, everything that he did, he took serious, Herro said. Everything mattered. I think that goes a long way. As all are aware of by now, the Miami Heat dealt Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors prior to the February 6 trade deadline. The highlight of their return package is former number 1 pick Andrew Wiggins, who has worn the number 22 on his jersey at every stop of his NBA career thus far. That didn't change with the Heat, but it drew more attention because Butler also wore the number on his back for 5 seasons in Miami. Some saw it as disrespectful to the most influential Heat player of the decade, while others believe the falling out made it justifiable. It's clear Heat All-Star guard Tyler Herro sides with the latter, sharing his thoughts on the matter at All-Star Weekend. Jimmy is definitely a Heat legend, but I feel with how things transpired over the last couple of months. I think 22 can be worn again, Herro shared with Sport 5. On the surface, it's simply the number on your jersey, but in professional sports it's also viewed as a sign of respect. This is why so many NBA legends have their numbers retired for certain organizations, or even league-wide. Chances are Wiggins won't ever meet the standards Butler set for the number in Miami, but regardless, his new teammate in Herro clearly has no problem with the decision. It is unlikely Miami Heat guard Tyler Herro will make the All-NBA team. But he is considered first team in the league in another category. According to Will Compton of Barstool Sports, Herro is among the best 5 white players in the NBA. I also know that Jack Harlow raps about him, Compton said. Herro seems like a hell of a player. The Miami Heat's morale has reached a low point. The team is 2-5 throughout the month of February. The All-Star break struck at a perfect time for the Heat to figure things out. Many of the personnel hope to get back on track as the team fights for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. One player who expressed optimism to the media was Jamie Jaquez Jr. Immediate team goal is to get back on a winning streak, Jaquez said in a Rising Stars post-game interview. That's number 1. I don't think we finished the break at all the way we wanted to. So coming back after the break, it's a new mentality that we have to have as a team. Tyler Herro also spoke regarding how winning Saturday's three-point contest gives the Heat something positive to think of. Honestly, I think the record isn't what we want it to be, but I feel like there's a breath of fresh air around our locker room, our arena, our city, Herro said after his victory. I think it's well before this trophy was won. I think there's a breath of fresh air just around the whole organization, and I'm happy to represent us and be here for our organization and our city, just to represent and win this competition. The Heat currently sit 3 games below .500 with a 25-28 record. Now, the Heat find themselves just outside the playoff picture at the number 9 seed in the Eastern Conference. That is still good for a play-in spot as it stands, but the Heat's potential 6th consecutive playoff appearance could be in jeopardy if the team doesn't turn it around. Stephen Curry embraces Draymond Green's championship guarantee after Jimmy Butler trade. Stephen Curry is embracing the gauntlet Draymond Green has thrown down. On Sunday during NBA All-Star festivities, Green boldly claimed the Golden State Warriors are going to win the NBA championship after acquiring Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat. When asked how he felt about that prediction, Curry was fully on board. "We love pressure. We love expectations," Curry said. "He know that, he's smart, he know what he's saying." Curry and Green have helped lead the Warriors to 4 championships in their time with the franchise. The addition of Butler could change the dynamic of the team, but the goals remain the same. The Warriors landed Butler from the Miami Heat on February 7. As part of the complex 5-team deal, Golden State sent Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick to the Heat, while also shipping Dennis Schroeder and Lindy Waters III to the Detroit Pistons. It was a massive trade that shook up the organization and included Butler agreeing to a 2-year, $121 million contract extension. We'll see if it leads to the championship Green promised. NBA Insider reveals which All-Star Miami Heat could fetch for Jimmy Butler. After 6 seasons with the Miami Heat, 5-time All-NBA selection Jimmy Butler has worn out his welcome. Already on his 4th NBA team, Butler could be on the verge of joining his 5th ahead of the February 6 NBA trade deadline. The Heat have been trying to trade the 35-year-old Houston, Texas native for several weeks now, but so far, teams haven't made a strong offer for the 6-time All-Star. Now the team could be looking to complete a 3-team trade just to get the job done. Who will trade for Jimmy Butler? That remains to be seen, but the 6-time All-Star is viewed as one of the players who's most likely to be traded ahead of Thursday's deadline. It's just a matter of which team, and who he'll be traded for. According to The Athletic, the Heat have discussed a 3-team trade in which former All-Star Andrew Wiggins would head from the Golden State Warriors to Miami. This deal would then send Butler to the Phoenix Suns. While the Heat were likely aiming higher when the Butler trade negotiations began, Wiggins is 6 years younger than Butler. Yet, he hasn't averaged 20 or more points since his days with the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2019 to 2020. Still, Wiggins would inject a scoring punch in Miami, as he's currently averaging 17.6 points per game while shooting 37.9% from three-point range. He also combines for 1.7 blocks and steals per game. He has a cap hit of $28.2 million next season before a $30.1 million player option arrives for the final year of his contract in 2026 to 27. For now, he's on a $26.2 million salary, which should make him an easier trade target ahead of the deadline. And you fan? What do you think of Andrew Wiggins' situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.